All right, and we are live. We are officially live. Thank you for all of you that are here right now and watching this back. A lot of different things to talk about. A lot of different things happening. Of course, I just love GameStop. I just launched a video called Tetron Does Hot Ones. Kind of bunch of my friends on there. It was a great time. Shout out to them. They were awesome in helping out. And definitely shout out to my brother. He edited that video. He did an amazing job. So definitely be sure to watch that. It's gonna be a great time. Great video. You'll really enjoy it. I promise. But excuse me, lots of different things to talk about today. I definitely want to go into the 10K. I started marking it up, but I really haven't had a chance to fully go through it. It is a lot of pages, so there's a lot of things to go through if you really want to read every detail. But that is something I do want to do over time, little by little. So, got all the tools open. Been working on the stream setup. Hope it's looking pretty nice. Hope you guys think that. Just trying to get organized, really trying to keep working towards a PC. So eventually I'll have a nice streaming setup, everything will be rocking and rolling. But for now, here we are. Oh, got to tweet out the stream real quick. Got the side cam going. What up? Oh shit, the side thing fell. But Fresh Maker, Test 9, thank you for being here. Jay, yo, what up? Thank you for being here. Wendy, thank you for being here. Danzo, thank you for being here. And Beavis and Butthead says, Testes 1, 2, 3. What's up? What's up? Xbit, thank you for being here. Tesla, what's going on with Tesla? I'll have to check it out. Oh my god. Why won't this stay? There we go. Now we're chilling. Organized. Rocking and rolling. Just gotta plug in the PC or laptop, whatever you call it. But guys, AMC earnings. Is anybody even surprised anymore? That's like the first thing I have to say. And then Bed Bath. There's some crazy things going on there because there's a lot of dilution. It's just unfortunate. You never want to see a company go down, especially if you're putting money into it. But it's just a lot of craziness going on right now. That's the first thing I have to say. I think Bed Bath, maybe you could trade it if that's your game. But if it's not, it's really, really tough to invest in that name, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, everyone out there can do what they want. But let's check out AMC and Ape in the after hours. You saw the 3 proposals from retail investors who got dismissed from GameStop? No, I have to check that out, Freshmaker. I actually have to get caught up. I haven't been keeping up too much with things. A lot of different things going on. Obviously, I'm always trying to stay in the loop, and I know something's going on, but I got to check into that. I'm joking. I meant Test 10. Oh, I was like, oh, Tesla, Test 10. Okay, I see you, XFit. But G America, yo, thank you for being here. But yeah, oh, yo, Ape is mooning right now. Ape is moassing. 20.9%. OMG, up 30 cents. But then we have AMC over here. By the way, what is that conversion? Does anybody know? I have no idea. Who cares? But just kind of curious. 3.89. Terrible. Down $1.22 compared to up 31 cents. That's net down 90 cents. Combine the prices. 386 plus almost $2, 180. Still under $5. Or sorry, under $6. But terrible. It's really crazy. And then let's look at Bed Bath right now. And Doge is only going up. All the meme names, so to speak, suddenly on the rise. But Doge is relative to Elon just changing like the logo. I'm also going to show this thread later, which I think is interesting. And actually, I'll just show it right now. But let me tweet out this stream first because that's something I still got to do. But the dilution's tough, guys. It's tough to observe. I do wish everybody the best in it, if you're in it in any way, shape, or form. But it's just tough because there's an insane amount of dilution, and the company's insanely tough spot, and it's an insanely tough time to borrow money. So you just raise it through your shareholders, and people just endlessly buying stock. It seems like they're just endlessly going to raise capital, so it's kind of like, yeah. But, all right, talking GME stocks and 10K filing. There we go. Okay. Stream is out. Oh, Denzel got me. He also tweeted out the stream. Let's go. I peeped that. You're a homie. Thank you for doing that. But yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna just talk about the 10K a little. But first point I want to make is, Bed Bath, AMC, and all these different things. And everybody just ties it together, and it's a lot of like, I understand, people are frustrated, and it's the idea of wanting to, like fight back, so to speak. So people think like, oh, just buy Bed Bath because it's like fighting back against the shorties. But you have to realize you have to like that's a trade if there's a short squeeze and you're just simply playing it for that. And this is, of course, just what I think. Everybody out there can disagree. That's totally fine. But GameStop, is more to me an investment, and I think the ideology is just forced and continued of like the I hold both type of thing, with people thinking it's just about a trade. It's not a trade when it comes to GameStop for the majority of individuals, or so it seems. Whereas these other names, it's more of a trade and get in and a get out, and then it kind of gets all tied together. And oh yeah, the meme stock, it's a trade, not ever a real investment, right? So nobody would actually ever look at GameStop unless they really, really look at it and or get like information from someone like me or maybe you that's like, hey, no, it's not actually what it seems like. You have to like look at this side of things, like in that sense. But this right here, leaked internal model from Silicon Valley Bank shows the management knew about the potential failure well in advance. The model showed that higher rates could have devastating impact on the bank. Their response: SVB executives changed the model's assumptions to ignore the failure. SVB's new projections took effect last year and assumed cash flow from deposits would stay consistent for longer, softening the projected bite of higher interest rates when it seemed very obvious they're going to keep rising very quickly. Of course, it's totally logical. Management simply wanted to keep telling a growth story. Former employees said every quarter there was always pressure to deliver earnings. Pushing for the charge in assumptions was Dan Beck, CFB CFO, probably the guy that was associated with Lehman, or I'd have to look it up. I know some of the names associated on the board. You look at it and you're like, that's crazy. You were there again, huh? For another bad situation. Various logs of internal documents of this conversation with employees showed one thing: SVB management prioritized near-term profits over risk management. We all paid the price for it. Yeah, I think companies can get along with, banks can get away with that for a long period of time in a low interest rate environment. However, when rates start to rise, the pressure's on, and all of a sudden things like this start to bubble up to the surface. And unfortunately, I don't think this is it. I don't know if anybody saw that Credit Suisse and UBS now, like there's some speculation about like, is it going to get blocked in some way? But the government's literally like pushing for it, the Swiss government. So that's a really, really interesting situation going on there. And UBS came out and was like, yeah, we're laying off like 30% of our staff now because of that merger. Like it's insane. Like when you really like think about it and you like look at the numbers, it's like, wow, like that's very insane. If that's 30% of their whole staff, let's look that up real quick. UBS layoffs. But the AMC, BBY, MMTLP rogues, and extra mad, they started tagging me in every angry tweets. That's why I see you out there, man. You're always going at it with everyone. Just out there. Boom, 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 like Rocky. Morant's stream this morning was extra funny. Never heard such a clown. They need to listen to themselves. Step back. I gotta catch it. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I caught like a few minutes, and I jumped in for a few minutes. We were talking about something else, and then I tried to go back, and then I had some work because I'm working during the day, so I try and like watch in between. So I have to go back later, and I do want to see because I heard it was good. I saw a few different tweets about it, a few people talking about it, so I'm definitely curious. UBS AG is expected to announce up to 36,000 job cuts after completing its takeover of Credit Suisse Group AG. As many as 11,000 employees may be affected by the layoffs. How are less employees in the actual job? Interesting. Okay. But still, workforce by between 20 and 30% after completing its takeover of Credit Suisse Group AG, slashing as many as 36,000 jobs worldwide. Incredible. Incredibly bad and unfortunate for those individuals. But where I'm going with all this and why I bring this up is I feel like this kind of stuff is why people get frustrated. I mean, obviously, right? But when you just say, oh yeah, I'm just going to buy Bed Bath, yeah, just fight back, it's these guys, I'm going to get them. Like, you have to look at the other factors at play. High interest rate environment, Bed Bath diluting. GameStop was in a completely different boat at that time, so it's not just like a mirror image. But I understand the frustration of people where like you want to get back, but I think you got to like look at the other factors, if that makes sense. And you can't get caught up in that, like, I just want to force a squeeze or I just want to like fight back against the shorts. You have to get caught up in the fundamentals. And then if you see that as a perspective with the stock, that's just icing on the cake. That's really how I've come to look at things over time. And I'll be honest, when I started, into GameStop, it was obviously the hype. That was, I mean, I think most of us like were kind of caught up in that. I'll be honest here. I mean, but over time, obviously, after holding it, I'm like, okay, well, this is completely different, and this is actually an investment, and I'm actually learning as I'm going along here. So I'm just gonna stick with this, and over time, it's basically getting more and more into GameStop, 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 and I love GameStop. Here we are today, literally talking about GameStop, right? But my point is, I think like things like this. Unfortunately, it's just gonna keep fucking happening, right? Like I really hope not forever. At some point, something's got to give. But and this is why people are gonna keep being frustrated. And the how I hold both narratives, so to speak, could keep being like told in that way from this like perspective, feeding off of people's anger because nothing ever changes. Things have to change some way, shape, or form. Like someone that made these bad projections has to get in trouble. Like that's my perspective. Otherwise, like it's just going to keep being the same old, same old. It's kind of unfortunate. I don't know. Maybe it's a few different points tied all in one there, but I don't know. Just some different thoughts on there and about the kind of sentiment. But also understand some people are like maybe going to trade Bed Bath and going to make money, right? And that's good for them if they feel like they can do that. But like for me, I'm not touching it right now. Like I was watching actually one of my old videos. I dabbled in it in March 2022, and I was fortunate enough to make a little bit of money. But at that time, I learned a lot. I was like, all right, well, this wound up to be like a lot of shit at the time. There was a lot of noise and a lot of craziness and a lot of hype. And I was like, well, I probably would have just been better putting that money in the GameStop. Although it did work out, just was like, all right, trading's not for me. I'm just reminded of that. But again, everyone's got to do what they know as an individual. And I really feel like this channel is about learning and like documenting my journey and like everyone else just learning over time. But just what I think. Moran stream this morning. Oh yeah, you think Ryan Cohen's buying next? Mark Anthony, elephant in the room. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you said that because I was gonna say that. I just went on this tangent here, and that was one of the first things I wanted to bring up. Obviously, Larry Chang bought, and last time Larry Chang bought, Ryan Cohen bought in shortly after. And one can only wonder, was that volume this morning, like that big influx of volume, that quick little run up, like 3-4% to start the day? Could it be? Could it be the man himself, the one, the only Ryan Cohen? I do wonder that, right? I really do wonder, and I honestly really think it could happen. It really would make sense because it was around this time last year. The company just turned profitable. If he tweets something, I think that'd be a pretty good indication because he hasn't tweeted in a minute. We should actually look that up as well. Once in a while, I can't go at it all day like Morantz. Yeah, Morantz is a fiend, man. But what a guy, what a legend. Danzo, I honestly think that was Hedgie trying to go toe to toe with Rants. It could have been. I definitely gotta watch it back. No one could be that overly optimistic about Tal if the price is literally in the gutter cellar. I think that's true. Yeah, you guys can read it. But yeah, 150K shares buys intermediately. And that guy Cosmolege, what a bozo. Oh my goodness. You guys know him? He's crazy. And he won't stop talking. Ryan Cohen, Teddy! Like oh my god. He literally cracks me up. He just cracked me up. You just gotta laugh at all this stuff. Someone was saying it to me on Twitter. Negative Banana. Shout out to you if you're here. But he was saying like, yeah, you just gotta like laugh at this stuff, or just it's not even worth just getting involved in things. But it's good, I really like talking to you guys to get your perspectives, like on Twitter and the chat. Like I'm like, I'm like human. I'm no genius, I make mistakes. I just share perspectives out here and all that. So it's always nice to hear what you guys have to say too. Okay. Let's see. Cohen. How's he tweeting? Look at this, guys. Doge is literally there. Who would have thought? This means I don't have to pay Silicon Valley Bank back. When is it? Almost a whole month later. Stop shooting down my balloons. It could be time. It really could be time. I really feel like, if not now, soon. Because, I mean, he does have a large position, so you might think, like, why would he need to? But at the same time, seeing another board member buy in at the same period last year where other board members are buying in, you could only think it's certainly on the table. And he is eligible to own up to 20% of the company as a whole. And he is running the show there. And he likes the stock. That is for sure. I mean, he's made pretty much power to the players, everything. His main purpose is GameStop. Like, even when he bought into Bed Bath for that short period of time, and, he inevitably exited, when he bought in, he wrote them, like, a letter, and essentially it said in there, like, GameStop's still my main focus, or maybe he didn't say it there exactly, I forgot exactly where, but at some point in time, he made it very clear that GameStop is his main focus, and he's chairman of the board there, and that's what he's trying to do. So Bed Bath was an opportunity at the time, and then he exited. But GameStop is what he's trying to do because he's chairman of the board, and he even in his letter or wherever exactly it was, he specified that GameStop was his priority and his long-term focus, which I think is really exciting considering I'm invested in it and I like Ryan Cohen, and I really just believe in the fact that everything he's doing, kind of rambling here, but in terms of what he did with the board, to like kind of step back, just overhauling it like that and just identifying this massive, massive situation, so to speak, of what's underlying, and to just be able to walk in and overhaul and just like buy up a bunch of shares and then like a year later, just think about it, his cost basis is ridiculously low. To come in March 2022, just buy a bunch of shares and then be like, I put my money where my mouth is. Like that was so badass. And Larry Chang just buying in after profits. It seems like it's coming again, but even if he doesn't, it's like this guy still owns so many shares. So I don't know. A lot of different thoughts there off the top, but there are many reasons why insider sells. Only one reason an insider buys. Exactly, Mark Anthony. That's a fact. That's a fact right there. Discreditment is important. Richard News, solid GME YouTubers. Also watch Marantz and CLW. I like the honest vibe of Tetron, BBY, and AMC YouTubers were distractions. Ben, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And yeah, no, I haven't watched Richard in a while, but I watched Marantz. I haven't watched Lightning in a while either, but just like you guys, I used to watch like everyone else on YouTube, like, just scrolling through them, like who's talking about what. But appreciate you guys being here. Even when I'm rambling sometimes and just getting excited, about GameStop. Here we are. But I do want to get into the 10K because it was the priority of the stream here. Where was it? Boom. Okay. So I'll show you guys some of my notes so far. I really do want to go through it all the way. Maybe I'll do some of that while I'm streaming here, but we'll just go through some main parts. So number of shares, classic common stock outstanding, exactly 340,675,439. That's the exact official number. I should also pull up the previous year's 10K at some point, and we'll do some comparisons. But, just overall, how many stores, where they're at. So I'll show you guys actually real quick to start the store breakdown. Like these are all the different states. So they're pretty much located in every state, it looks like. But what I did down here was I broke it down in terms of percentages of all their stores. So I've pretty cool, that 9.5% of all their stores are actually in Australia. Thought that was pretty interesting. 4.9% in Canada. Then you have 18.8% in Europe for a total of 33.2% for international stores, excluding the United States. Then the remainder of them are US stores, the 2,949, and that is 66.8% of stores. So about 2/3 of stores are located in the US, 1/3 are internationally outside in the US, because GameStop's based in the US, and then about 10% in Australia. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't really realize they had a big presence there. I knew GameStop was definitely relevant in Australia, but I didn't realize they had that kind of presence. So that's pretty cool to see. And seeing these other names, and also put, Switzerland here is in the process of closing their stores. I wonder, maybe seeing as the second smallest one, does maybe Australia or Ireland close the stores at some point? Because my thought with that is it's logistics. If they're shutting down Switzerland operations and stores, then it probably isn't profitable. Maybe the logistics just aren't there for it. Maybe some of these other countries they aren't. I feel like that would be Ireland or Australia. I mean, I really hope not. I'm not encouraging that or saying I hope for that, but I'm saying if it were the case, or over time it's evidently the case through more numbers, data, however they're viewing it, and that's where it really comes in handy when you trust Ryan Cohen and other people running the company, because you can trust their evaluation behind the scenes. And the small things, like the small aspects like that we can't see, even in something as detailed as the 10K, they're the people kind of making those decisions, and those are the small things that are allowing them to cut their costs, from what I understand. But optimize our core business and achieve profitability in the near term. We'll continue to cut costs to operate more efficiently in 2023, hence profitability expectation. Yeah, so the company keeps, same commentary. They're pretty consistent. They really don't say much. They don't say much on their earnings calls, kind of straight to the point style, and like just don't believe me, just watch. But what's cool is they're talking about profitability. that we're going to keep cutting costs, and that's been the commentary of the past two quarterly earnings now, and it seems to be an objective for next year because that's down here somewhere as well. But I want to go back before I go all the way through. But this was the store breakdown, so I thought that was pretty cool. But eventually, guys, yeah, again, I want to just take notes on all of this like this, just to have my own analysis and find a better way to put it out there for you guys, just to like view, and then maybe other people can comment on it. So it just feel like a giant like 10K like analysis by individuals. I don't know. I really gotta like figure out all this stuff over time. Like even just seeing the setup of this stream, guys, like it took me mad long to be getting all this like organized. Like I'm really such a newbie with this stuff sometimes. But I think most didn't like Rich Demand's on letter. Haven't heard from him since. Besides the letter, he's a swell guy. I think you're right, Denzel. I didn't fully get to look at the letter. And I really just try and stay away from controversy because, like, at the end of the day, I like GameStop. He likes GameStop. It's a homie to me. I think Web3 gaming is the whale under the surface and increase their revenues and blow up the top off their profits. Yeah, Newton could use a haircut. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not cutting it until GameStop like explodes. Which respect to him though for that. What do you think about the wording regarding the DRS number on this report compared to last report? Interesting, right? For sure. Yeah, and Ben, they are closing the Switzerland stores, but again, I think it's for the profitability. Yeah, I'm gonna skip right to that. I'm glad you said that, Mark. Let me see. Forget that. I think it's on page 19. Wow, the fact that I think I have it memorized at this point. Or 18. Well, I could just do it too. The fact they said Seed and Co. Very interesting. Yeah. See, I did skip down to this in the beginning. And then what do you say to the fact that GameStop hasn't rented the fulfillment center in Reno, Nevada and the customer service center in Florida, but first plan to do it? Wait, let me read that one more time. What do you say about the fact that GameStop hasn't rented the fulfillment center in Reno, Nevada and the customer service center in Florida, but first plan to do it? So I think the customer service center, I have to look into like the leases. I'm not exactly sure exactly what you mean, Freshmaker, but if they haven't rented it in the sense they own it, I think that could be beneficial. But I'm not an expert in that category, so that's something I would have to kind of follow up and do more research on, honestly. But yeah, Web3 is, I think, the whale under the surface because that'll really what be that drives them forwards because they can keep improving their operations and people shopping at GameStop is absolutely a huge factor. But I think they really need Web3 to drive them in terms of growth down the line. But for now, just operating efficiently, they could start to just provide shareholder value through returning profits, in various ways, potentially. But they can primarily focus on pumping their profits into driving Web3 growth, future partnerships, maybe some acquisitions. I'm really, really curious what the acquisitions could be because now that they've mentioned it twice, two earnings calls in a row or earnings reports, it's certainly interesting and I'd say at least a possibility. But our Class A common stock is traded on the New York Stock Exchange under symbol GME as of March 22nd, 2023. First point right here. It wasn't as of the end of the quarter. This was as of just like a week before this report came out, which I thought was really strange. There were 197,058 record holders of our Class A common stock. That's an insane number. It's actually crazy. I'm two of those because I have it in two separate computer share accounts, so I guess technically it's one less, but still. Excluding the approximately 228.7 million shares of our Class A common stock held by Seed & Co. on behalf of the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, or approximately 75% of our outstanding shares, approximately 76 million of our Class A common shares of stock were held by record holders as of March 22nd, 2023, or approximately 25% outstanding shares. I looked back at last 10K, and it wasn't like this. I thought, maybe because it's a 10K and not a 10Q, format's different. But no, they mentioned Seed & Co. Really strange. And the delay for the 10K not being the same day when they usually always did it the same K, it makes me think it was potentially somebody saw it before it came out, was like, we need to change the language here for some technicalities. You know what I mean? Like, so it's something, and it really seemed like it'd be a higher DRS count because quarter over quarter, if you look at the stock price for where GameStop stock was at over the past like 5 months prior to this little run up, it's been really low. And financial times have been tough, I'd say, for individuals and economic times as a whole. But people like GameStop seem to really consistently buy, especially as it's going down. So it seems like that DRS count would have absolutely went up. It was also the time period where Plan was changing the book. So you have to wonder, is something there? Was that a massive increase? And then the technical reporting, maybe technically Seeding Co reports it. I don't know. I think it's to be seen more so over time. There's always, something I've learned throughout this whole saga is there's always more down the line that'll come out in terms of any issue. I mean, maybe not always, but things start to make sense in hindsight. So just kind of being like, okay, I'm gonna remember this, but I don't quite understand exactly now. But maybe down the line, it'll be like, oh, that's why that was like that. But just some thoughts there. I'm gonna get the chat updating here. What's up, everyone? What's good, Tetron? Ryan Sung, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Mahari, thank you for being here. They don't have both of them anymore. Oh, okay. I have to check that. See, like I said, Fresh Baker, my apologies. I still do have to go through the entire 10K report head to toe. But that's definitely something I want to look into. I'm going to put that on my stickies here. I got to get another one going. Because that's interesting, the customer care one. I didn't even catch that. What the heck is going on? Just want a sticky note. Customer care center. And what is your thoughts about having two computer share accounts? Oh, there's no need, Jacksons, and thank you for being here. I have one for my single member LLC, that is Tetron, and then I have one for myself as an individual. So before I created this channel, I created an LLC because I'm like, I'm gonna make a business, I'm gonna do something, but I'm just gonna create the LLC. So I forced myself to start. So before I even decided I really definitely want to do YouTube, I mean, I've messed around with old channels in the past, and I had the vision for it. But really, I have a lot of different ideas with Tetrons for like a long, long time to come. I'm talking like years and years, and like obviously we'll see what happens with everything. Again, like YouTube's my main focus right now. But my point is, I'd already like kind of put money. I set up an LLC checking account and all that good stuff just to understand a business too. So my money in there, I opened a brokerage account in the name of the LLC, and then discovering computer share and everything it meant, I was like, oh, I can directly register shares because I have an EIN. So when you directly register shares to yourself in computer share, you're taking them out of the name of Seeding Co. You're registering to yourself as an individual. And when you're doing that to yourself as an individual, you're essentially registering it to you. Like I would for like me to Noah. So it's registered in my name, like to my social security number, essentially. Whereas Seeding Co. it's like for my benefit, like on the books of the brokerage, essentially. So just in the same, it's like kind of technically to my SSN. Just registering it to my business is just registering a share in the name of the EIN, which is just Tetron LLC. So I own shares in the name of Tetron, and I own shares in the name of Noah. So that's the only reason I have two computer share accounts. Besides that, there's literally no reason. That's the only reason I do. And Freshmaker, thank you for pointing this out. I definitely want to check into this. I got to follow up on it because these are the small things I really want to understand. And I feel like that's why, you guys are here right now. I'm here right now. So we can just like learn about these things over time. But yeah, no need for two computer share accounts. All right. So I'm going to go back to the top here. Take it from the top. Not actually, but. But I really do think Ryan Cohen could buy some shares. Like, I don't know. I go very much back and forth because I just expect anything at this point, and I really just feel like the long term really is just about GameStop gonna make money? Are people gonna shop at GameStop? Is the company going to keep bringing in the revenue? Or are they going to drive growth? That's really what it comes down to. I feel like everything else is there for the play in terms of the investment, but without the company driving forwards, increasing revenue and growing, truly growing, you can think there could be gazillion, trillion shares out there, right? Excuse me. But my point is, driving forwards is very important, and I really feel like that is the last X factor. Everything else is in great shape, and the company getting to the S&P 500. Shout out to Morantz for that perspective. Not that I ever thought it was impossible, but the first time he said it, I was like, wow, that seems like pretty far out. I don't know if that could happen. Like that seems pretty crazy. But over time, now I'm like, wow, that ain't crazy at all anymore. The closer and closer we get to it actually happening, and it makes a lot of sense in terms of how it would drive GameStop up a lot because all these funds would naturally have to buy in. So that's a lot of buying power into GameStop. And when a ton of shares, at least 25% for sure are registered to individuals directly registered. So that's a lot when there's already only 304 million out there. And when you're automatically in the when you're in the S&P 500, these funds are automatically having to basically transact your shares or purchase them to, keep their fund balanced. So that'll be really, really interesting if/when that time comes, which personally I think it's when. But those of you that want to say if, so be it. That's fine. But when that time comes, I really, really feel like that'll also like give the stock a Tesla type of boost, but like on steroids. I don't know. Just some thoughts there. But um, at your leisure, red is no longer a place for good D. Yeah, TD, not just D. XFIT, I think you're right. Honestly, I haven't really been on Superstonk that much. Just here and there to kind of see what's happening. But hey, Negative Banana, thank you for being here. Jello, have a good day. Coming here late night, much appreciated. When RC does buy shares, how soon after will he bought in? Is it a 13F that has to be filed? Jackson's, I believe it's a Form 4. Larry Chang at a Form 4. Maybe it's a 13F because of Ryan Cohen. So yeah, this is why I had ChatGPT for this type of thing. Like, what is a 13F? And this is the Tetron ChatGPT. Quarterly report, institutional emails manage more than 100 million assets. No, I don't. I think you would have to file right away. What's the Form 4? Yeah, copy my tweet from Twitter, copies invisible text. Sorry. Now you're chilling, Danzo. No worries. No worries. When Ryan Cohen does buy shares, how soon after we learn he bought in? Is it a 13F to be filed already? Can you see my link? No, I did not see it, Freshmaker. I don't think it got through. Oh, my bad, guys. I just realized all messages was on the side here, like on the side, and then I only had top messages on my iPad here on the side. So I do apologize for that. If you guys were typing and I was like, it seemed like maybe I was ignoring it. My bad. But no, I could not see your link, Freshman. You got to drop it to me in the Discord, and I could check it later. Oh, that reminds me. There's a video from the. Oh, there's a video I really want to show you guys from the Discord. Damn it, I forgot to put it on my computer first. Because I don't want to be like pulling up all the Discord, but I think it'll be fine. Maybe we'll do it in a little bit. Form 4 is a document filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission. By insiders of publicly traded companies to report the transaction of the company's stock. Insider includes officers, directors, and beneficial owners of more than 10% of the stock. So yeah, it seems like it'll be a Form 4. It must be filed within 2 business days of the insider's transactions. It includes information such as the insider's name, title, relationship to the company, date of the transaction, and type of transaction. Okay, so within 2 days. So if it was today, 2 business days, tomorrow, Wednesday, right? So we'll find out by Wednesday. Larry Chang's filing was Friday from his purchase on Thursday. So that's interesting. Or no, sorry, Friday from his purchase Wednesday, right? Let's fact check that. Fact check Tetron. Fact check Tetron. Sent via Twitter to you. Good looks. Fresh Maker. I gotta check that out. What am I doing? AMC's Adam Aaron is screwing his stockholders over. 123888753. Thank you for being here. But you're right. Honestly, I think you're 100% right. Unfortunately, they get associated like, oh, they're the same play. But this man, Adam Aaron, is like, yeah, we're launching popcorn, we're doing this, we're doing that. And meanwhile, he's driving the company into the ground with endless dilutions and just poor decision makings. It's very, very unfortunate because AMC is, huge movie theater chain. And unfortunately, now movie theaters are kind of dying. I do think that's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. I don't like what Adam Aaron's done. I don't like AMC, the forced association with GameStop. But I don't have anything against movie theaters. There ain't nothing wrong with movies. And it's unfortunate that the movie industry is going this way because it's just poorly managed, the largest one. So it's just unfortunate. But yeah, you're right. It's really doing people dirty, to be honest with you, in my opinion. But all messages. Hold on. What was I going to do here? Okay, so let's just make sure there's no filings. And I want to check this, and then Freshmaker, I'm going to hit Twitter. I'm going to be mad nice with OBS one of these days. Over time, just improving with technology and all that. So date of earliest transaction, the 29th. Filing 31st, so 2 days later. Maybe we'll see Ryan Cohen's filing this Wednesday. That'd be pretty epic. Or maybe even tomorrow. Maybe even later tonight. Who knows? Last time he did it the same day, I'm pretty sure, when he filed. Can you do Form 4? Mm, I think this is the Ryan Cohen one. No, it's not it. Okay, I'm gonna check Twitter. Imagine Ryan Cohen tweeted right now. That'd be crazy. Some Adam Aaron tweeted it was fake. Some people speculate that Amazon rumor is fake news. Some Adam Aaron tweeted it was fake, but of course they all went on the lie just pretending he didn't know. Yeah, no, honestly, I think it's fake news because reason is it wouldn't make sense for Amazon because there's just so much debt they would have to take on from AMC, and they'd have so many things to repair. They'd have to take so it takes so much like human capital and capital, right? Or fuck, what's the technical term? There's human capital and economic capital, maybe I don't know, but just capital, like you think of it as cash, it take a lot of that, um, and then it would also take a lot of human capital, take a lot of people to come in and like fix it up and like actually make something good of it for what they're trying to do. Um, oh my bad, I'm stupid. This is not where I'm at here. Pulled it up. Me and my sister have 6,000 shares in TFSA. Unable to DRS or DSR. I'm assuming DRS. Damn, I'm not sure what TFSA is. I haven't heard of that one, but or maybe I'm just not catching the abbreviation off the top of my head here. Why is this cloud cause recommended? Bozo. But yeah. So unable to DRS. That's unfortunate. That is certainly unfortunate. I know there's definitely situations like that, but I do feel for you because if you want to directly register it, I feel like as a shareholder, that should be your choice as an individual. So that is certainly unfortunate. Sorry to hear that for you. I really hope they ditch the reverse split idea. They shouldn't split in the first place into AMC and Ape. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a poor decision, honestly. And James Drew, shout out to you, the boy, big homie. Oh yeah, Fresh Maker. I don't see your link. I don't know why it's not coming through. I'll send the DMs, but I don't want to pull up the DMs. My bad with everybody else here. Not that I really even have anybody in the messages, but um, gotta to go back. Rancid is illegal for a filmmaker to buy a movie theater. Amazon makes movies. It's an antitrust law violation. Damn, Rancid really knows everything. This guy's smart as fuck. No, but that's good insight. Thank you for saying that, Dan. So that would make sense. I mean, I wasn't aware of that exact information, but it also makes sense beyond that with just the debt. I just look at that alone, but that's also an interesting little tidbit. No one cares about AMC anymore. Yeah, kind of true, XBit. But yeah, I don't think they're going to ditch the reverse split idea. And Bed Bath & Beyond is also reverse splitting, which is just pretty wild. I mean, both of them at the same time, like pretty crazy. Or I don't know why this isn't loading. Direct message. All right, so I should pull it up. Let's do it real quick. Or where is it? Dude, appreciate all you guys showing love on Twitter too. Much appreciated. Or damn, why didn't... Let's see. Good looks. Appreciate you. Let's see. Incoming no action requests under Exchange Act Rule 14A8. This page contains pending Rule 14A no action lawsuits received by Division of Corporation Finance, Mutant Federal Information. All right, so help me out here, Freshmaker. What exactly are we looking at here? What am I going to dig into? But oh, what's this? Incoming no action. We are writing on behalf of our client, AMC Entertainment Holdings, to inform the company's intention to exclude its proximate form. Okay, stock approval. Amendment to the third. Oh, okay, so this is the filing of them saying, like, we want to convert AMC preferred equity units in the form of apes. There it is, GameStop 3 links. Allow me to pull that up too. Hey there from Canada, Alina. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a good day out there. Got to get some rest. We'll watch the rest tomorrow. Great job, Tetron and GME family. Kingsbury, thank you always for being here. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good night. Not that AFC crap. No, yeah, I mean, I just like to look, but you're right. Got to stay away from that. Just X that out. Oh, no. um, yeah, the AMC's dead. That's why they're using BBY graph. Yep, unfortunately true. All right, yeah, all messages showing. Okay. Formula client intents from this proxy statement. Oh, I think I did see this somewhere. They're trying to like amend some stuff. File this letter. 80 calendar days. Proposals. As a shoulder company, I'm writing to propose to the company and or its board of directors take actions to issue. Oh, this is held 1-to-1. I want to sell AMC when I'm in the plus, which isn't that far off. On the other hand, maybe that's the hedges want. I also hold GME. 1, 2, 3. I honestly personally think your best bet's GME, but I do wish you all the best with AMC. I mean, you never know. There's always going to be volatility. Unfortunately, today was not too good, but hey, we'll see what happens. Tetron, Challenger, thank you for being here. The hedgies are long AMC via Apollo. You're just running their trap run. XBit said it, not me, but always great. Thank you. Happy to hear you're doing well. But Hicks' proposal states the following. Oh, so this was Richard Newton's incoming no action requests. Sorry, I'm honestly just still figuring this all out on the spot here. So is this his letter? Or who wrote this letter exactly? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Office of Chief Counsel, Division of Corporate Finance. States and as Shoulder's company. Respectfully request staff's currency company exclude the proposals. Specific. Okay, so Tetron, how's my favorite GME Titan doing? Monster Buddy, hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you for being here. But yeah, damn, I gotta really read into his stats. Dividends. So this is like about action NFT dividend happening. That's pretty crazy. I gotta read this more. Thank you for pointing this out to me though. But will BBY and AMC bottom out more? Fake pump has to happen again and keep people strung along. Danzo, it could at some point. It might absolutely happen because it just seems like every time you think these names aren't going to run anywhere out of nowhere, they do some kind of run. And I really wonder if one of those names go bankrupt, like legitimately files bankruptcy, or it gets bought out like private equity, anything like that. What would happen to GameStop stock? Is there going to be any reaction? Like, is there strange ties? Like I could only wonder. So I guess we'll see over time. It's kind of for less than 3% of total assets. Yeah, thank you for pointing this out to me, Freshmaker. I gotta look into this more. Let's see. This will help me understand it more. But really, I feel like ChatGPT, it's kind of scary and probably tracking me with it or something. But good for info. Where are we at right here? It's good. Allow shareholders of publicly traded company to approve a new policy. Only at least. Gotcha. Okay. As a mechanism, shareholders say a company's management and decision-making process allows shareholders to raise important issues to advocate changes. Okay, I see. So a few people wrote these. So yeah, there's a lot of specific language in here. I'd really have to dissect this a little bit. Marketplace. States the company could spin off GM Entertainment, decided which GME operates digital asset business, divest itself from the digital asset business. On the other hand, proposal indicates the company should allow the non-fungible token shares to be tradable in the GameStop marketplace and held in the GameStop wallet, and spin off would grow GameStop ecosystem, which suggests the GameStop should continue to operate its digital asset business at the spinoff. In addition, the proposals suggest the company can use any funds raised from the spinoff to focus on more aggressive growth strategies for retail stores. I feel like that wouldn't be the best move. I don't know. But I have to read this whole thing. I'm just reading a random part here. This statement suggests the proponent is requesting the company to conduct an asset sale as opposed to a spinoff transaction. A spinoff in the form of a dividend would not produce funds for the company. Further, the proposal discusses non-fungible tokenized shares of ownership. This could be interpreted by a stockholder as an issuance of a non-fungible token or a governance of token. Yeah, definitely got to read all this. Certainly interesting stuff. And again, it's always interesting, even if I wind up disagree with it or whatever it may be, perspectives, it's all about perspective. So thank you for sharing this with me. Appreciate it. You guys think Citadel's on the brink of bankruptcy? Xbit says no, so they'll never get margin called. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I don't think it's like that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Honestly, I just like to focus on GameStop. If something crazy happens because of GameStop, that's on whoever bet against it. I'll just keep focusing on the company. So I'll definitely get back to the 10K here in a moment. Still's already broke. On paper, it's a great success. It is, yeah, some interesting stuff going on there. I'll say that. Where am I? $10K. Boom. They're basically suggestions from retail investors, and GameStop would have them voted on in the next shareholder meeting. With these 3 requests to the SEC, they asked that if they don't vote on it, the SEC won't take action. Okay, wait. They're basically suggestions from retail investors, and GameStop would have them voted on at the next shareholder meeting. With these 3 requests to the SEC, they asked that if they don't vote on it, the SEC won't take action. Monster in the building knows the vibes. But yeah, no, that's interesting. That's definitely interesting. I got to read them more in depth. It'll be interesting to see if they would come up in a vote inevitably. That'd be certainly something interesting to see, and something maybe at that point in time it would be revealed management does have some plans to be like, well, no, we're not going to do this, but hey, this is where we're going. Or their style isn't necessarily like reveal, so I feel like it'd be something kind of like boom, like right here, right now, or like here it is, like it's been worked on and now it's here. No like dates or anything like that. Because G America, it's like, oh, they tweeted about it, something's happening, and then it was just an NFTs, right? And there was some like disappointment, I would say. Everybody always wants more, but at the same time, it's like still long term. It doesn't really matter, but just some thoughts there. And I am going to read that though, Freshmaker. I do want to read more into that. That's some interesting stuff. The King of Creation is present, the Vibingtons, and getting drunker by the minute. Nice, nice. Oh, guys, I'm feeling so burnt out lately. I feel like I've been doing so much, and I have such a busy month of April coming up. It's crazy. GameStop short at least 200%. We'll have to see. We will have to see over time how much it rises, but short interest, I think, is definitely misrepresented, but I feel like, unfortunately, there's no way to really know over time. Let's go. Where was I? Okay. So switch back to the 10K. Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. Hit me with the eraser. Nice king. Haven't heard great things about the PSVR 2. VR will continue to evolve and become more widespread. Movier, thank you for being here. Cheers, GME. Have your computer shared lately? Ben, I actually just initiated a transfer today. Funny enough you say that. I've had a few shares I've been sitting on my brokerage. I was like, what am I waiting for? I've had them since before earnings, so I was like, all right, it's time to move them. But again, that's just what I do personally. But looking at the categories here, getting back to the 10K. Hardwares and accessories. It's a category that's moved sideways. Some of the OG bull thesis, when you look at Michael Burry betting on the turnaround, deep fucking value, right? Roaring Kitty, man, the myth, the legend himself. Yeah, deep underscore value. Some OG bold thesis of individuals identified a console cycle as being a turning moment for GameStop previously. Future console cycle would likely have the same effect, but will be years away. Because, yeah, console cycle is not just like around the corner. At some point in time, it'll happen again. And I do believe GameStop will benefit from it as a whole, just like last time. And it really was a big part of why they were able to turn things around at that moment in time. It was kind of a unique thing where it's like, oh, well, the company's in bad shape and having a hard time, but here's a big thing happening in the gaming industry, and I think the gaming industry is continuing to pivot, and it's still kind of driving things forwards. But that leads me to the next question: is there a path back to growth for a software category? Week's category at this moment in time, I have to do more research, and I put have to do more research because I was like, wait a minute, we also sell a wide variety of in-game digital currency, digital downloadable content, and full game downloads. Is that NFTs and everything they're trying to do with digital collectibles in Web3? That's really what I'm trying to understand over time. Or is it going to be more so in the collectibles? Because it says here, our digital asset wallet NFT marketplace activities. So I guess, yeah, no, that's not software. So I guess I kind of just answered my own question there. I don't know why. I've gone back and forth on that. I don't know, maybe why I'm just getting mixed up for some reason, but sometimes, just doing a lot of stuff. Maybe I'm just mixing up something that I think I'm mixing up, if that makes sense. I don't even know. But here we have it. Collectibles consist of apparel, toys, trading cards, gadgets, and other retail products for pop culture and technology enthusiasts, and our digital asset wallet and NFT marketplace activities. Highest margin category, company will continue to focus on growing the segment. Because, yeah, there's always going to be collectibles. There's always going to be new things coming out relating to gaming, like whether it's like a little knickknack or something relative to Web3 and everything they're doing there. That's really the category they're going to drive going forwards. Year over year it went up, quarter over quarter it went up. It continues to grow little by little, but it's really nice to see that expand massively as Web3 really starts to get bigger. If GME pumps again, the brewers will halt the trading just like last time. I think you maybe, but that's why I like computer share because I like shares personally registered in my name, but that's just me. Trading program. Brand loyalty. I said, well, this is not a huge segment. I personally think it's a classic sort of aspect to GameStop as a brand because you always know you could trade in games, and it does allow people to buy. Like, for example, you get a GameCube game, a Wii game, even like a DS game, stuff like that. That maybe people have traded in. GameStop holds onto it for a while, but maybe you just so happen to want like one specific game for whatever reason, they could have it on there, right? So used games not a huge part of their business at all, but I feel like it kind of is part of GameStop as a legacy and a little bit of that nostalgia side of things that I kind of talk about here and there. So sustainability in 2022 alone, the United States Refurbishment Center, we refurbished over zero point 0.9 million pieces of software disks and over 2.8 million consumer electronic devices. Then they did some recycling as well. Again, not anything major, but a small aspect of the business that appears to be part of the machine as a whole. I feel like if this small aspect of the business was not profitable to GameStop, they just remove it as a whole. I feel confident in Ryan Cohen and other executives to make decisions like this from within, being able to view details and specific numbers the public simply does not see. Because, again, 8K, a lot of information here. We got 92 pages. But these small specific things, we don't know what the profits are on the refurbishment center, right? So if that small thing wasn't profitable, I really feel like Ryan Cohen or somebody at the top would be like, okay, well, we got to get rid of that. And they would take action. And that's why it's nice to trust the board that of a company you invest in my opinion. But hence why in some cases, poor executives and management can really burn a company from within. Bed Bath, AMC. Sorry, guys, I have a cold. But moving on. We talked about this a little bit before, but again, if you missed it, I broke down the stores in terms of percentages. So, of all GameStop retail stores, 2/3 of them are United States. The other 1/3 are international, with 18% in Europe, another 10% in Australia, 5% in Canada, and also Switzerland's currently winding down their stores. I said, I wonder if Australia, maybe Germany, I'm sorry, not Germany, Ireland, two other smaller names in terms of percentage of all their stores, a very, very small amount. You'd have to wonder if they're shutting down Switzerland. It's probably because Switzerland isn't profitable. So unfortunately, they got to close down that segment. So you have to wonder, is Australia or Ireland maybe next with an also small footprint in each of those respective countries? So we'll have to see because, they're optimizing their core business and achieve profitability in the near term. So expecting profitability in 2023, those are the kind of decisions they may have to continue to make. GameStop definitely thinks these are all bad ideas and not good for the company. These include, for example, a proposal of an NFT dividend for GameStop Entertainment to go public as an independent company. Yeah, honestly, Freshmaker, I was reading that and I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, the spinoff, like, nah, that can't happen. But I see what you're saying. It's like you gotta like it's their perspective, but if it's forced in some way, it could be negative, and that would not be good. So definitely, I'm still gonna look at it, but yeah, I see what you're saying. You're not saying like, oh yeah, like I'm endorsing all this. I'm just saying like, look what's going on here. Or I think that's what you're saying. Definitely tell me if I'm wrong. Germany's already below 100 stores. Damn. What was Germany on here? 154. Yeah, that's crazy. So if this is most recent 10K, where'd you catch the new number? Is that a different like filing or something like that, or maybe in a different part of it? Because this was as of the 29th. What's up, family? Abe, thank you for being here. I saw that video you made of me and Marantz. I gotta pull that up. That shit is awesome. I'm gonna pull that up right now, real quick, before we continue this discussion. Um, appreciate your thoroughness, Tetron, Monster Buddy. I appreciate you being here. You know, like I always say, I'm literally just learning as I go. I'm just a regular individual like everyone else. I'm no genius. You know, I'm really just trying to understand things step by step. So that's why I just highlight things, you know, put shit in chat GPT and just define things and like, oh, that makes sense. And just trying to make sense of things over time and just grow brick by brick, just like GameStop. But Abe, this is a legendary video. I got to pull it up here. Tetron's going to play your video. He knows what's up. Xbit knows. He sent it to me. But if you guys want the link to the Discord, I am going to go ahead and share that here. Just getting it rolling. Still got to really organize it. Put some stuff in. But we're just talking here and there. I gotta go back to what that was. Some good memes here. This right here, guys. Much respect, Dave. I like that. That's a great one. That's awesome. I gotta tweet that out tomorrow or something. That's legendary. Tag me on Twitter or DM me on Twitter so I can like make sure I tag you. I tag the right person. I'll give you a shout out for that. But that was legendary. Most closures have now taken place in February and March. The 10K only displays through January. Gotcha. Yeah. So where are you getting that though, Freshmaker? Because I want to keep up with that information. That's really good to know. Though. Let me write that down. Germany store closures. Because I feel like I was reading somewhere that internationally it's very hard for GameStop to be profitable at this moment in time. Nice job. Golden, yes. Honestly, amazing, man. Amazing. At hit Abe up. Okay, bet. I'll write that down here too. Hit Abe up. That's a fire username, honestly. So there's another. That one's dope. Oh, there's another. I gotta see that one too. Germany store closures in February and March. I can only show you a German website. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That makes sense why I haven't seen it. But I do appreciate that information. That's really good to know. And I'll add that here actually. Oh, what the heck is this? The highlighting. I was like, what the heck? Oh, you know what I just remembered too? I keep just dumping things up. Part of my problem, guys. I be dumping stuff on post-its and then I can't follow up because I create too much information in random spots. So after the stream tonight, I really got to try and tie all this together. But shit, what was I literally gonna write down now? Oh my god. Oh my god. Now I'm literally too many thoughts at once. But let me just first put that the wine down here. Is it red? Whoa. Down. Filing. Oh, I remember the thought I had. That's what I was gonna write down. Totally blanked out there. Boom. Okay. It's gonna put. I need background music. Copy. Fuck. I can't talk right now. Copyright free music for the background of the stream. You know, I got this set up looking kind of nice. Like for the first time, I feel like now I'm really looking at like my setup on OBS here. I'm like, damn, all right, this looks like somebody who knows what they're doing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Got the ball rolling here. So, and then boom. Oh, I'm invisible on this one right now. I'd have to fix it, but this is the other one. The other little thing I got going, but I don't have the border there. And this one I'm a little bit bigger. Got GME up top here. This is the chat up here. We got, wait, over there is Tetron Invest. There we go. But yeah, no, honestly, guys, I'm really having fun like learning the streaming game. Those of you that have been here since the beginning, when I didn't even have the headset working, so it's all part of the journey. And shout out to you, Freshmaker, for that one. I can only show you a German website, but yeah, I gotta just gotta keep it up with everything. So much, and I really do want to go through the rest of this report. But let's first start here. Just read through this. Some of the stuff they put out about their business strategy. Strategy packs a fully leveraged unique position and brand recognition in gaming through a new phase of transformation. Our strategic plan is designated to optimize our core business and achieve profitability in the near term, while pursuing strategic initiatives to generate long-term sustainable growth in the gaming and entertainment industries. So my thought on that there, or comment, was further plans for entertainment side down the line, or are they just, excuse me, referencing gaming and being a form of entertainment that they'll continue to grow in? So I do wonder, is videos someplace and one other, the long speculation of like Blockbuster, could they be involved in some way, shape, or form? I don't think it's like a buyout situation or anything like that, but maybe that's like the entertainment, right? But at the same time, gaming is entertainment. But at the same time, why would they say growth in the gaming and entertainment industries? So see what happens there over time. But I do agree very much that they can fully leverage their unique position and brand recognition because they are in a unique position. The gaming industry is also changing right now, and I really feel like they're ahead of the curve on that. And time will tell if that's true or not. Numbers don't lie. And that's the new phase of transformation they're kind of referencing there. And if they continue to keep optimizing their core business, they can continue to turn net profitable, free cash flow positive, put the cash into marketable securities. Eventually cash for acquisitions, especially in a tough economy right now. Uh, they don't need to take on debt. That's also a huge thing because they're very cash strapped, in good financial standing. Now turning a profit again. We'll continue to see if that continues to happen quarter over quarter. Um, year after year, etc. Because again, numbers don't lie. But beyond that, I really feel like the growth is Web3, and the brand recognition is really strong. So acquisitions could be really positive for them because, okay, maybe Web3 isn't driving like massive revenue growth right away. They buy out another company that they can then implement under the name of GameStop because of the strength of the brand name GameStop. And to me, that's their unique position of brand recognition. So that's where I really feel like a buyout or acquisition would be really interesting because it would, in my eyes, only make sense if it's going to be kind of like, I don't say registered or what. It depends what's acquired, right? But whatever it is, it would have to fit under the umbrella of GameStop, and I think inevitably be rebranded to be the name GameStop. Like if it was like Tetron's headsets, and then GameStop come in and bought me out, right? Because I made headsets, or Tetron's like hardware, something like that, or Tetron hardware accessories, whatever it is. GameStop come buys it out. I think they should take all my product, take over my distribution center, whatever I have that I have set up for my business that's hopefully doing decent, take it over, rebrand it all to GameStop, and then just implement it into their own distribution centers, and then just cut the fat from my old headset company slash hardware company. That's just like a random example, but that's how I kind of view them potentially doing an acquisition down the line. How hard would it be for us to achieve a full year of profitability? Abe, honestly, I don't think it'll be that hard because quarter four, it is the biggest quarter. But the big thing is, I think a lot of people aren't considering, is the company's cutting costs for the long term. These cost cuts aren't like temporary, just like, oh yeah, this one time, this one year, this one quarter. They just save some money here, or save some money on that for like that reason. They continue to just trim excess, and anything that's not profitable, it seems they just cut it out. Or any way they see to just optimize better, it seems like they're taking those steps, and that's allowing them to continue to make margins slightly larger and larger over time, even as revenue just kind of stays stagnant right now. So I really feel like we could see maybe quarter one, quarter two, it's more flat, right? Free cash flow is maybe kind of break even. EPS is closer to break even, but not exactly negative, maybe ever so slightly negative. But then Q3, Q4 are coming strong with strong positive EPS, strong net income, strong free cash flow. Maybe not even like out of this world strong, but just positive. And that would be a full year of positivity. So I really feel like full year profitability and full year free cash flow positive, full year net income positive, absolutely a possibility in 2023. I really, really feel like it's on the table and most likely to happen. But that's just what I think. And even if it didn't, I wouldn't be all that concerned because I feel like year over year, if you look at 2023 as a whole when it's over versus 2022, it's again going to be better and again just about moving in the right direction. And I feel like at some point, GameStop will really just kind of take off, and I really feel like that's when it's going to be near its entry to the S&P 500. But there's going to be a gazillion other things along the way, a million other factors, a lot of volatility, a lot of narratives, so much to be seen. So we'll see how it goes. But establishing the omnichannel retail excellence, we aim to be a leading destination for games and entertainment products through our stores and e-commerce platforms. To accomplish this, we are taking steps to ensure we are fast and convenient solutions for our customers. This includes app and site redesigns, better product availability across all channels, improved fulfillment speed, partnerships and store concepts to attract new customers, and further improved customer service experience. Store concepts to attract new customers. I think that low-key is saying, or kind of a reference to when they have promotions where it's like, oh, if you come in store, you can get this. It's always good to have the foot traffic still coming in because that is part of their core business at the end of the day. So the plan to continue to optimize more efficient through technology and strategic adjustments. They've been doing that since the beginning of Ryan Cohen, Larry Chang, Matt Furlong, all these guys coming in, and I believe they'll continue to do that. So we'll keep an eye on that. Achieve profitability during fiscal 2022. We optimize our corporate cost structure to align with our current and anticipated future needs following the completion of a majority of necessary upgrades to our systems, fulfillment capabilities, and overall foundation. We will continue to focus on cost containment as we streamline parts of the organization where we can operate with increased efficiency. Keep in mind, these guys have only been there, and gals and people just operating the company a couple of years now, like really being in there. Maybe some of them even a little bit less. So the more time that comes on, the more data there is, the more information there is, the more situations that are dealt with, and just more visibility from running things in terms of how to operate better. Like for example, when I worked my way up at Marshalls, I became a manager eventually, like sales floor manager, working my way up over time and just doing the job over and over and over again, and just all the different problems that occurred over time. Every time there was another problem in the future that was somewhat similar, somewhat relative, or I guess kind of similar to a previous problem, I could use that knowledge or make a better decision in that moment in time due to my previous experiences. And I feel like that really goes a long way. That's a small example in terms of my job as a sales floor manager for retail company Marshalls, but I really feel like that goes up in terms of scale. The more you work your way up the company, the more larger decisions you have to make in a sense. So even though my experience was on a small scale, I feel like that's the case on a large scale with the people running GameStop at the very top. And when you have company culture, that's people who own the stock are the ones running it. I think things tend to work out well in the long term, but we'll see because numbers don't lie. Tweeted the German website at you. Only 70 stores less. Last year had 170. Good looks, Fresh Maker, much appreciated. Where do I have that here? I'm gonna put it. 70 stores, or I'll put it right now. Ugh, not the highlight. Why does that keep happening? 70-ish stores as of end of March 2023. Good looks on the info. Just keep adding to the DD right here. Tetron behind the scenes. Right Paste this shit in this. Boom. Control S, save. Leverage brand equity to support growth. GameStop has many strengths and assets, including strong household brand recognition and a significant store network. We intend to use these assets to attract new partnership arrangements, expand product offerings, and acquire new customers. We will simultaneously explore and pragmatically invest in strategic initiatives to support our growth. Another mention of partnerships being on the horizon, household brand recognition, and a significant store network. We intend to use these assets to attract new partnership arrangements, expand product offerings, and acquire new customers. So, acquire new customers, is that, a low key, like, oh, well, they're going to acquire something? Maybe. But again, I think it'd have to totally fit their model. It wouldn't cost them a lot. It'd have to have a small market cap. They'd want to still be cash heavy, just because they want to be sustainable, have an iron fortress of a balance sheet, because I feel like that's part of what makes them a good investment, is that they are well managed in terms of their capital. But, more partnerships, more revenue growth down the line, especially in terms of Web3 and everything they're trying to do there. I really feel like they're going to need to partner up as much as they can to really just drive things forward. And that'll ultimately create long term value for shareholders. I think acquisitions, potential future dividends, share buybacks, all these different things down the line is going to be shareholder value delivered. But we'll see. Is it true that Bigfoot? That's funny comments over here. But yeah, spoiler alert, NFTs. Oh damn, I'm getting caught up in the chat. Go ahead and check out Cosmic Disco Sauce. Pam, thank you for being here. Tell him I said hi and to buy a drink on me. Pam, I think our expert. I think Pam means about from the video, the Hot Ones video they did. You guys got to check that out when you have a chance. It was a great time. But yeah, the disco sauce, that was bad funny. But maybe you are talking about Cosmic Disco Warrior or Cosmic, oh my god, Lightning Warrior, not Disco Warrior. But stay away from the Apollo sauce. Executives and board members are shareholders themselves. We gotta wonder now: did Ryan Cohen buy more shares? Larry Chang bought more shares, so that's always confidence in the. That's nice to see confidence in the board member. Prior to 2022, business was, what did I even write there? Prior to 2022, this was years, arguably even decades behind in terms of technology and how retail has adapted over time. So yeah, working at Marshalls, I saw retail technology that was relatively old, and the Marshall style is just, put out everything, sell everything, so it's completely different than GameStop. I would say Marshalls is not traditional retail exactly, whereas GameStop more so is, where you really need that retail technology to see what sells in what, like, regions, things of that nature, and just understanding over time how to, better the system, and you keep track of, like, well, how much merchandise did we have to mark out because it was returned and not working, things like that. They really have to just keep track of all these different things, and it's like, oh well, this product, consistently there's a problem. Maybe we have to go to the manufacturer and be like, hey, why does this product always have a problem? Because we're eating losses due to you having a poor product. And those are the small things they can see with that technology, because you think, well, how is that not there before? When there's poor executives in place, they don't do the small things like upgrade the technology to be able to keep track of that stuff. So imagine the companies having to refund a ton on one particular brand, right? And they don't even realize it because the retail technology wasn't there. I know that's a very, very specific example, but I really feel like small stuff like that is starting to be recognized over time. And that's kind of where my mindset is in terms of why technology and them running the company for several years really is a major factor, because it allows them to see those kind of small things over time that they were able to implement that they can't see right away. They kind of need some data to let it play out, if that makes sense. But a little bit of rambling there, but doesn't matter who bets against GameStop, as long as GameStop grows and is profitable, the short thesis will go away. It's a fact, Freshmaker. That's a straight fact right there. As long as it comes down, as long as people like the company, buy from the company, just hold the stock, and the company thrives. At the end of the day, anybody betting against it, it's going to be hard to bet against it when they continue to thrive, right? It's really as simple as that. And I just feel like short squeeze is icing on the cake of a great investment. So GameStop will struggle to grow in price. The hedges will suppress it. 1, 2, 3. I appreciate you being here, but I think it's just about the company itself All those different factors, you know, you don't have to worry about them too much. At the end of the day, if the company's driving forwards, I really feel like that's the number one factor. But that's just me. It wasn't a problem for Tesla. They bought Tesla at 300 and sold at 1300, 6-year hold. You guys don't have patience. XBit, half made good money there, man. And yeah, I really feel like GameStop entering S&P 500 could be like what kind of happened for Tesla, but like on steroids, honestly, because with so many shares directly registered, and then let's say GameStop around that time period is like, yeah, you know what? We're making decent money now. Let's buy back some shares too, right? Or maybe not even not at that time after S&P 500 entry, or even prior to. At some point, they buy back a little bit of shares. I think that'd be like super bullish. So, or even just another insider, Ryan Cohen, buying shares, super bullish, right? So definitely keep taking it day by day. Definitely going to keep refreshing the SEC page or SEC filing page on GameStop's investor relations. Is there a new Form 4? Did Ryan Cohen buy shares? Did any other board directors members buy shares? You know, keep an eye on that. So the Hot Ones video, I love spicy wings. Abe, thank you for watching that. I appreciate it. My brother worked very hard. Shout out to him for editing that video. He did an amazing job. And shout out to my friends. They were also awesome for being there and helping me out with it and just being part of it. But I'm not even a big spicy wing guy. I just did it because I was like, I want to try it and see if I could do it. And I was like, I wouldn't do a straight like bite into like a ghost pepper or whatever. But I was like, it's sauces. I like wings, so I was like, I think I could do this, and it would be like a fun thing to try because I really like to show hot ones. I've always thought it was pretty good. Really like it's a really like unique style to it, and I just found it really interesting. So I'm like, it'd be really cool to try that. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna try it. I'm just gonna get them. And then when I got them, I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta make a video out of this. I gotta like I just spent all this money to get this shit because I really wanted to try it, but like I gotta at least like make something out of it, right? Like or do something more with it. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna record the video. But I'm glad you guys watched it. I really do appreciate that. Um, saw the hot ones video. I love spicy wings. Hot ones. What's it? Don't touch the eyes. Don't touch the eyes. That's what I was trying to say. This was short. 40%. Oh, we got XBit versus 123 in the chat here. We got boom, boom, boom. Boxing match. But while you guys are going at it, but no, I always appreciate, you know, everyone could always share their thoughts. It's totally cool. But we're going to talk about the PowerUp Rewards program right now. Their U.S. loyalty program, the PowerUp Rewards member program, had 56.7 million members as of the end of the quarter, which approximately 15 million members have purchased or traded at GameStop in the past year. Okay, so active members essentially right there. PowerUp Rewards membership totals include 5.6 million in paying pro members. Our loyalty program generally offers our customers the ability to sign up for a free or paid membership, the latter of which gives our customers access to exclusive gaming related rewards. The program's paid membership generally includes a subscription of Game Informer magazine and the additional discounts and benefits in stores and e-commerce platforms. So without Game Informer magazine, it's $15 a year. With it, it's $20 a year. You get a monthly magazine from Game Informer delivered, and on top of it, you get like with or without the Game Informer, right? $15 or $20 version. You get a $5 gift card to use at GameStop every single month. So you could even just go into GameStop, buy like a Twitch gift card or like any gift card you can just load up $5 to and get it for free every month just by spending that $15. So it really is worth it. You know, I really don't endorse much on this channel, but I absolutely endorse go pro. Go be a paying pro member. Support the company you love. And on top of it, it's going to encourage you to spend there because you're like, hey, well, I'm going to get $5 off, so I should go in and check out GameStop. And anytime I'm in a mall or anywhere GameStop is, if I'm like with my girlfriend or like family or whoever, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'll be right back. If you want to come with me, but I'm gonna go check out what's going on at that GameStop. You know, always like to get a perspective, you know, of what's going on there. And reason I added notes here was just because I didn't really get to read this and like put my analysis on it, but I feel like I just kind of gave it out loud. Something I really do think would be nice to see though is them growing this category because it's loyalty to the brand, and like I kind of just mentioned, $5 a month in terms of $5 off on your order once per month encourages people to continue shopping the company because they think, well, you know, I could save some money on something, so maybe I should look for something I need, and it just kind of encourages like repeat customers. And I really feel like small things to encourage that, other things being implemented to the PowerUp Rewards membership program could be really cool and really exciting if the company could kind of tie it into everything they're doing with Web3 and just keeping everybody having everything in one place in terms of their account, connecting their wallet, all that good stuff. We'll see how that kind of goes down the line. And beyond that, something I really want to see the company do is more incentives for people to go, to the store. Like, oh, if you pick it up, like if you pick up your game, like you get this, or like I don't know, on Tuesdays or whatever the slowest day of business is, like you get like a free sticker. Like I don't know, maybe that's like too silly, but stuff like that. I don't know. We can kind of see over time, but maybe they can kind of test the waters on that in different stores. But we'll see. Gotta catch my breath. I'm like freaking just rambling out here. But yeah, fun little thing I want to go through real quick here. Switch out of the 10K. Then we'll kind of come back. I think that was all I wound up, even marking up. Like I said, I have a long way to go. I don't get me wrong, I didn't read just those like 4 pages. I did read more of it, but like I more so read like the main parts of it and a lot of the stuff we saw already, like the balance sheet, income statement, all that good stuff. But yes, this is for sure. But luckily, the company, isn't just holding mass amounts of cryptocurrencies and digital assets themselves on the marketplace. Themselves on their balance sheet. They're more so facilitating everything, and that's what the wallet, the NFT marketplace, is all about. Truly owning it yourself and being able to transact with other individuals. But GameStop's kind of just providing the platform. And we'll see, is Gmerica going to be something more in terms of all this? Potentially, maybe it's something small, maybe it's something big. Time will tell. Where was I going to go though? So yeah, I always say it's about learning, but I was actually watching back. Yes, this over here. So I was looking, look at my most popular videos, right? Like pretty crazy. And I do have to drop a GME thoughts video about Larry Chang buying shares, which I'm basically just gonna say, like, it's more evidence of people running the company putting their money where their mouth is, and as the company's turning profitable, you see an insider coming to buy. Of course, it begs the question, is Ryan Cohen next? Everybody has that on their mind. That's kind of just what I'm going to talk about in that video, but if you guys want to check that out, and just some other perspectives, maybe dig into Larry Chang a little bit more, and just what he's about. I mean, I've definitely looked into him more, but I'll just kind of remind some of those things in the upcoming video on that, but stay tuned for that. But what I want to show you here, my all-time videos, my most viewed videos. So this was right after Ryan Cohen sold Bed Bath, and in this video I kind of mentioned how I had traded it, and how it was a lesson where I'm like, I didn't really want to talk about it because it just kind of was a big hype storm, and I really did kind of buy into the hype a little bit. And in hindsight, I'm like, damn, that was only 7 months ago. But now I just feel like, you know what? I was seeing Bed Bath all the talk again, and I was like, it's not for me. It's not for me. And even at that time, I was only dabbling in it. I wasn't like investing in it, like towels to the moon, baby. I was just like trading it, and a lot of people were trading it at that time. And then when Ryan Cohen got out, I'm like, something ain't right here. And it was a learning experience, like if I watch it back here again, it's just a learning experience. That's basically what I kind of said in that video. But this video, very interesting. It's pretty funny. I was like tired. This was like down here, like right over there.
Okay, guys, something that has just been driving me nuts. Absolutely bonkers. This is not financial advice.
Literally just came out. I was like, I just have to rant this.
AMC is the biggest scam in the history of the stock market. The way AMC is pumped, I can't even fathom how ridiculous it is. It's been a constant distraction this entire time. Too. Mark my words.
Can we fix this?
Not financial advice, thoughts and opinions, but remember I said.
And the comments on this are hilarious. Yeah, let's see high quality. Damn, that don't look HD.
Biggest distraction from GameStop since the beginning. AMC came around to ensure that GameStop never picked up the retail traction like it did in January ever again.
My hair looks terrible in it. I just recorded this mad quick. I still could have lose my most viewed video.
In January ever again. Because if it ever did pick up the kind of traction like it did again in January,
perspective,
it could be over for the shorts. It could totally implode, and we could see the MOAs.
Comment right there.
So what do?
It's been a great theory in February
Divide
2021.
and
I think
conquer,
it's still a great theory.
Friends. Divide
and conquer.
That's what they've been doing. All these influencers, like For example, Matt Kors that popped out of nowhere, and that they
Forgot about
love
that
having
clown,
him
Matt
all over
Kors.
Yahoo Finance,
Hey,
CNBC.
who's that good-looking
Oh,
guy?
retail activist Matt Kors is joining our show today to talk about AMC and Spider-Man's new NFTs.
Ash knows what's up.
Please, those don't do anything for AMC. It doesn't make anything. And everybody talks about
And
everybody.
yeah, I
Oh, I
forgot about
own
that
both
Spider-Man
GME and
NFT
AMC,
thing. That was
or I
the
love
shiny
AMC.
thing at that moment in time.
Everybody's talking about Spider-Man NFTs. Oh, AMC's and NFTs. This all happens after the rumors start of GameStop's NFTs, right? They just piggyback off that and
Yeah,
do something that
forgot I
doesn't
made
even
that
make
point
money.
too.
Whereas
Damn,
GameStop,
looking back, I'm
we
so
now know
smart.
for
No, I'm just
sure
kidding.
they're taking
It
applications
is
from
funny in hindsight
creators
watching this again.
for their NFT marketplace. We know for
See,
sure
look, the classic I hold
that they're
both
having
response.
an NFT marketplace that's going to be built within their ecosystem of games. It's a huge thing, gaming and the blockchain. It makes sense. Do movie theaters and NFTs for movies provide profitability to AMC? Do you really see that as being a growth vector for their
Producer by
business
Ferris
when they're
Michaels
growing the way they are, and that they have and that they haven't? That's the bottom line. But GameStop has still had the ability to continue to grow, and I believe it will continue to do so. We'll see.
Damn, that's actually crazy how many like comments to if Superstock's a person. Both are good plays, don't get me wrong, but I highly disagree. It's a distraction. Clown comment. I think both will moon. AMC has been short since 215. Your lack of due diligence is a reason why nobody should follow your advice. Why cause division in the community? We're seeking the same goal: to vaporize hedge funds and close to a fair market. AMC and GME are not the only players, but they are the biggest. The biggest. Clown. 29 likes too. GME's the move. Talk about one stock. It's the only meme stock. Collectibles. Popcorn's less than nothing. Facts. Where's the data? Just feelings. Yeah, look what's happened over time. Alright, enough reading back on this. Damn, guys, we're getting burnt out, but I did want to show that real quick. Simple signs on the get out when, let's say I'm going to, oh damn, I gotta catch up in the chat. I'm going to GS tomorrow, hopefully to pick up Tears of Kingdom. Oh yeah, GS. What's GS? What could that be? No, just GameStop. And Electron card. Nice. Always shop GameStop. That's the way. But simple signs to when to get out. When Ryan Cohen sells out too, if your CEO says estate planning. Yeah, Abe, that makes sense. GameStop doesn't have any stores in my country anymore. I'm sorry to hear that, 123. I'm just glad I bought GME. That's a fact. 123, where do you live? And ditto. Oh, guys, my brain is feeling so foggy today. Too much fun this past weekend, maybe. Not enough sleep. But crazy. Oh yeah, maybe I should watch this. I bet this is good. No, I'm just kidding. But let's see the other ones. Other most popular. In this video, what I was basically saying is if anybody tried to come in and buy a massive amount of shares and just force the price up, it wouldn't happen because then, ironically enough, it seems like the SC would come in and be like, you can't do that. You forced the price of this, or you bought too many shares, or this or that. And as you guys have kind of seen in my content over time, I used to talk about MOAS in the beginning. But over time, I've moved away from that term because I still think it's possible. And, the concept of it, like the thesis slash concept of it is still there. But what I've realized is like over time, definition of MOAS is different for everybody as an individual. And I feel like that's kind of the cool part about it. It's like, let you think what you want of MOAS. I think what I want, like, so be it. It all really is just about the company. And that's something I've really learned over time too, that any type of short squeeze potential is really just icing on the cake. It's a nice, really, really good looking piece of cake that you really want to eat, and then you're like, oh, that icing too, that's like top tier, super sugary. It's got the sprinkles, you know. That's the short squeeze aspect of it, and that's everything underlying. And everything underlying, I feel like will naturally bubble up so long as the company succeeds. Hence why I've kind of gone away from the term MOAS over time. But every once in a while, I like to look back and I'm like, damn, what was I talking about at these different periods of time? What were my perspectives? You know, because this is all about thoughts and opinions and perspectives. It's always what I'm always saying. So sometimes I kind of like check myself going back. I'm like, damn, how did I used to do things? What was I saying at that time? What was my perspective in that time? And I don't know. So, like, for example, this video, I was like, damn, I learned that about Bed Bath, or like, that's kind of where things were at only 7 months ago. That feels like a decade ago. But at the same time, it's like Bed Bath's been bleeding a slow, painful death. But at the same time, it's been going like mad quick. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm just rambling today, guys. But what a time to be alive. And I just like GameStop, and I just love this fucking journey. I love this journey so much. Like, it's so awesome. But Norway, hey, watching from Norway. It's actually crazy how many people are international, like watching like my channel. I gotta check the stats on that more, but there's more than I thought. And just in general with GameStop shareholders, there's quite a bit of international holders. That's pretty awesome. So shout out to all you guys holding from outside the United States. You guys probably like watching me, like, yo, this American clown, he's hilarious. Nah, I'm just playing, but for real, it's actually awesome that it's such a united thing. GameStop, just a company that people like. It's just uniting people. You know, it's I use the term community very loosely, but it is a community of people who just happen to like the same stock, happen to like the same company. Right? That's the similarity that makes it a community in a sense. But I use the word community very loosely because I don't think investing's about a community style where it's like we're all going to buy into this at once. Yeah, it's just nope. We all see this opportunity here, this investment, and just a bunch of individuals that like to invest and want to passionately hold the stock and shop the company. And that's just truly something I've never seen before. And part of the reason I'm in GameStop as a whole is because it's just truly unprecedented. I really, really believe that what's happening with the company and the stock, it's just unprecedented. Like, it's uncharted waters. Like I kind of said here, you know, it's sailing to uncharted waters as more and more shares get directly registered. The company's now turning to profitable. People still like the stock. Doesn't really seem like, you know, anybody's selling. Maybe not as many people are buying. You could say that as the price goes up, but at the end of the day, if the company gets in the S&P 500, then that's inevitable buying, right? And as the company succeeds, that to me leads to more inevitable buying. And anybody betting against it, it leads to inevitable covering because they're thinking, shit, there's going to be inevitable buying company because the company's not succeeding. So we are inevitably going to have to cover. So it really all just comes down to the company succeeding. And I think once that happens and they really just start driving forwards, that's when the fireworks start. You know, that's when you can define MOAS your way. I'll define it my way. I'll put it like that. But I don't know. Just some of my thoughts there. My MOAS is 100% followed by split divvy over and over again. I like that idea, Abe. Yeah, just more and more shares. I'll take more and more shares of my favorite company. That would be awesome. And I really do think dividends are potential down the line. I mean, it really, really depends the direction the company goes. There's going to be a gazillion X factors, a lot of different things along the way before that's potentially even considered. I don't think that's anything near term, but I wouldn't mind dividends in a long time from now when the company is really driving forwards, has tons of free cash flow. They're really, you know, just fucking delivering, you know, just thriving. At that point, I think it would make sense for them to re-implement dividends. I know that GameStop has had dividends in a very long time, and I really don't think even in the short term it makes sense. But I think like long term, when the train is just fucking chugging along, that's when they could do dividends, and that's when it'd be awesome to be like, well, you know, why would I? Again, another reason not to sell because they're delivering value to me as a shareholder. But I don't know. We'll see. And I'm not saying I need dividends in the long term to be happy as a long term shareholder, but I think the fact that it's on the table and that there's people like Ryan Cohen running the company, I feel like they'll make the best decisions because, again, they themselves are shareholders. But again, just some random thoughts there. Um, the hope is for a lot of investors who invest in the company itself, not because of MOS will raise the price. Yeah, I think that's absolutely a great thing to look for too, and definitely a major factor where, if the company's succeeding, there's more people just buying from the company, embracing the Web3 side of things they're doing. It'll just start to drive the business forward. It'll start to grow the business, and it'll just inevitably lead to more people wanting to invest in the stock or feeling more confident in investing in the stock. And also, inevitably, if they're just trimming excess costs even as they're not necessarily growing right away, their free cash flow will just continue to be positive. And in a high interest rate environment, when you're free cash flow positive and you don't have any debt, you keep putting that money into marketable securities that'll keep accumulating more interest, which is more cash on the line. And if it's a tough economy, maybe valuations of a smaller name falls, and then you can acquire it for a great price, and that's good use of your cash. Or even if not, you keep using that cash to accumulate more cash because of interest rates, and then maybe eventually you just use that to pay a dividend or buy back shares, right? That's delivering shareholder value without even growing. I've said this many times before. A great example of delivering shareholder value without growing. Let's look at these two clown names. 10% today. It's every day. It just gets worse for Bed Bath holders. I'm sorry for you guys. But I've said this many times before, but a great example of delivering shareholder value is Dillard's. They had a special dividend uh, this past December. The most previous December, they also had a special dividend, like $10 or $20 each time. Fat dividend. They also have a consistent dividend of like 20 cents a quarter. And on top of it, they've bought back shares over time. It's run by a family named Dillard, or the Dillards essentially run the company. And they've directly registered their shares, hence the volatility. And just not that there's like shares trading relative to the shares outstanding is pretty low, kind of like GameStop. But even when shares do trade, it can move the stock significantly. As you see, there's been a decent amount of volatility in the past year, despite um, not that much happening with it, not like anything groundbreaking. And if you just look at shares outstanding over time, it just slowly declines. And they had those two special dividends, so just delivering value to shareholders. And the cool part about it to me, why it's a great case study, is they didn't really massively raise their revenue in any way. They just operated efficiently and just started to initiate shareholder value initiatives that basically just burned anybody betting against the company. And the short interest has come down a lot. And I don't think it's anything the same at GameStop at all, but it was being attacked by short sellers that seemed to really get burned in the process of betting against it. So, highly encourage individuals to look into this company. See, it's been trading for a long time. And then it seems like it really started getting aggressively shorted here. And they were like, all right, well, we're going to do shit to take care of that. And obviously, the pandemic changed everything. But long story short, look into this company. It's a great case study of shareholder value being delivered without revenue growth even being there. So I think GameStop will deliver revenue growth over time. And getting into Web3, that's collectibles. It's a higher margin category, just less overhead in general. Their margins will continue to increase, hence more cash flows, more net income. Everything just continues to grow, right? But without that, this is an example of a company that really wasn't necessarily pushing on all that hard, but still delivering value to shareholders and the stock price appreciating greatly. And again, who's investing in Dillard's relative to the 197,000 plus people in GameStop, right? That's kind of my point there. But again, just a case study. Just make sure no SEC filings for GameStop, right? Imagine there was one right now, Ryan Cohen on the spot. Oh, that'd be crazy. Dogecoin's pumping too, by the way. Yeah, that's because Elon just put it on Twitter here. If you check it out, where is it? Look, you got Doge. Do you like change the logo? Is that actually going to be like the logo for it, like on the App Store and everything? That's actually going to be. It's pretty funny. I mean, think what you want to Elon, but he's a clown. He's just a fucking clown, one way or another. Whether you think of that as a negative or a positive, but he's a clown. Um, Get off my lawn. Damn, you guys are having a whole conversation I can't keep up. Wish I was the fly on the wall when GameStop board members are at their meetings. I feel you, Andy. It'd be just awesome. And just to hear anything Ryan Cohen, Larry Chang, Matt Furlong. I mean, Matt Furlong's not on the board, CEO, but just learning from any of these guys would be quite a remarkable experience because they just seem like really intelligent individuals, from what I understand, and not corrupted in any way, which makes me confident investing in GameStop, especially seeing some of these other companies, if you know what I mean. No, just kidding. Or they found someone to acquire some nicer infrastructure. Yeah, I think nice infrastructure would be really good to see. Whatever they acquire, whatever they do acquire, I think it's really important that it is something that can be easily implemented into their business. Definitely has good margins. It's not something they're going to have to overpay for. Acquisition, really, I feel like would have to make sense. And people running the company with their commentary and how they've been doing everything, I don't think they're going to just go out and take on debt and make some massive unnecessary acquisition or anything like that. So I really believe in them to make a smart decision in an acquisition if one does happen. And I think inevitably it would deliver shareholder value if they do make an acquisition. Never thought I'd be following Dillard. Something like that is my version of Moas. Yeah, exactly, Pam. It's a random name. I didn't even know what the fuck Dillard's was until I just kind of came across it. I forgot how I stumbled upon it, but when I just keep an eye on it now. Like I'm not invested in it. Full disclosure, I don't have any kind of position on it, nor do I plan to at any time in the near future. But I just keep an eye on it because I think it's an excellent case study of direct registration, shareholder value, short sellers, whatever, just another retail stock, right? Or I mean, not that GameStop's just a retail stock. I think it's more so turning to a technology company, but GameStop's core business is still retail and e-commerce, and Dillard's is relatively similar in that sense. So it's just kind of a nice case study. I think it's really interesting to kind of watch. Doge just a pump and dump scheme. Yeah, honestly, Doge ain't it. XBit's smart. Sold all his Doge for GME. That's the way to do it, man. I think that's a pretty wise move and probably doing pretty well for you over time. Let's see what Doge is at. I mean, maybe there's a trade in Doge, but again, I don't really trade, guys. Like on occasion, I had this crazy idea, like maybe Rumble's a play right now with some of this stuff going on with like Trump and Tate. But I don't know. Like I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm really gonna do that. Like I said, guys, I really don't trade. Just on occasion, if I see an opportunity. Um, and it would just be to get more money in GameStop. It's always nice. But I'm not gonna do that. I don't know. I was just talking with a friend about it. We just thought we are talking like maybe like a hype sort of play, but I don't know enough about Rumble where I feel like a trade. I feel like you don't have to really, but trading is also not my game. And anytime I've thought I have this great idea for a trade, it almost never actually works out. And I kind of just think like, yeah, I wish I didn't wind up doing that. And really, over time, just holding GameStop, I haven't been like messing with anything like that. Like the last like real like trade I can say I had actually was like Bed Bath and Beyond in March. Like besides that, I really haven't been like messing with anything. And even the crypto I have, like I just hodl because I'm like, all right, like whatever. I used to buy like $1 of Bitcoin on this app a little while back, but even then I stopped because we are still going up. Like I'll just leave that a little bit there. So, but it's all funky names. Doge just a pumping up. It's almost 3 at night here. The bed is calling. Good night, Tetron. 123. Appreciate you staying up late to be here. Much, much appreciated. But I hope you have a good night. The crew is here. What's up, Mix? Thank you for being here. But yeah, don't touch Rumble, guys. I don't know shit about it. Please don't be like, oh, Tetron said trade Rumble. Tetron's not saying trade Rumble. Tetron had a conversation with a friend, and it made me consider the possibility, just considering like the name surrounding it. But I'm not gonna do it. I decided I'm not gonna do it because I don't know enough about it. Um, and just because people are partnered with them doesn't mean nothing's gonna happen like right away. Well, they did just have earnings, so I'd have to check that out just out of curiosity. But I also thought too, like, what if I start like live streaming like gaming one day on Rumble? Just a random idea, guys. I don't know. Because when I get my PC, I do want to also game like with some of you guys, but I don't know if I want to do gaming like with the YouTube, right? Because the YouTube is more about GameStop and finance related things. So it's like maybe I'll do gaming on a different platform potentially. So that's also kind of why I was discussing Rumble, and Rumble was on my mind with my friend, just bouncing some ideas. But spewing a bunch of random shit right now. Let me very clear that I really like GameStop the best. This is the play. But hope you're well, Tetron Invest. Mixtape, thank you for being here. I am doing well. I'm just honestly starting to get burnt out, so I do have to wrap up the stream soon. But chat's popping. You guys are awesome being here, so I don't want to wrap it up right this moment. But yeah, Rumble has a stock. Rumble has a stock. Can't trade Rumble on my broker. Damn, yeah. I mean, they might have went public through a SPAC, so that also kind of made me skeptical. I could be wrong. No, I think no, they did. They did go public. Yep, yep, they did. I'm not wrong. So I don't know. Anything with the SPAC kind of susses me out. Not gonna lie. So oh yeah, remember when this was the next play and the fight back against the short sellers? This stupid thing. GNS genius. Strange action today. Was that when GameStop was running too? These pump and dumps. Disgusting. Look at this cheese. You know, it reminds me though, when this and look at this one too. Remember Hellbiz? Look at this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Imagine you bought this one. That reminds me, there hasn't been a big story in a while, right? Where's the next narrative? I'm waiting for the next narrative. You know, the reverse splits are coming of Bed Bath and AMC. The ape conversion gonna happen. Like they're really running to the ground. Like, and this is all while the short thesis is really just completely dying on GameStop as they're turning profitable. And if they can really start to just drive growth, it's just truly dead, the short thesis. And that's as these other companies are going out and they're known to be like the anchors, so to speak, right? With some potentially swap positions and interesting things like that. So where's the next I hold both? What's the next narrative to be told? Like I'm very like on alert for it, right? Like what's coming next? What's around the corner, you know? What's the next FUD or whatever you want to call it. So I don't know. I stay skeptical. I definitely stay skeptical these days. But yeah, don't trade Rumble, guys. I don't think it's gonna be a good play. I mean, it. Like I said, anytime I've tried to trade, like I'd say 85% of the time it hasn't worked out. And that's like career trades. Like since high school, I've been like messing around and trading. So to be fair, I've been a young individual, but I'm very fortunate that I've dabbled in a lot of things. I've even tried to fuck around with like Forex, tried like cryptocurrency trade, right? I've tried everything in the past, but I was lucky enough to like have curiosity at a young age where I didn't have real money like in high school when I was doing most of this and like the very beginning of college. It was until like I was like really like a year into college that I was like, all right, I gotta stop with like all this random shit. Like life actually has costs. You know, like I can't just be putting my money into all these like weird like get rich quick type of things, which I started to realize like that was the common pattern. I was like, oh, it just seems nice to just like look at charts and just trade. But I wasn't really like putting in the work to do that. And then I was like jumping into things like, oh, Forex. Oh, no, I'm a day trader. Oh, I'm an options guy. You know, like all these different things. But again, I was young enough where like I didn't have real money, and anything I was losing, I was like, damn, that really sucks because I'm trying to pay for college, and like I also didn't have like I pay for my own college mostly, so I was grinding on that. So I was like, all right, well, these things aren't working, so I should just put the money to school and like only put money into things like I really really feel like the opportunity's there. So over time, I've now realized like okay, like if you don't really, really, really feel confident in it, you're better off not putting your money because you're just going to feel shitty after. And I learned that from a lot of experience that, I feel like a lot of people didn't have that experience at a young age, and you start dabbling in these things at an older age when you have more money. And then that's how people get burned, like putting tons of money into AMC and like Bed Bath because lack of experience, I guess. And like, I'm not trying to say like I'm a genius in any way. I hope this rant is kind of making sense. In no way am I trying to pump my own tires that like, oh, I know so much or oh, I've learned so much from my experience or the back when I did this or anything like that. I'm just saying like I recognize like, damn, what a unique spot I'm in that I was dabbling in all that shit, fucking around and all that. And I realized like at a young age, like it's not the way to go. And if you do trade, I'm not saying you shouldn't trade. I'm just saying to just go from Forex to this, to that, to the next play, the next this, the next that. And that's where I just really opened my eyes to AMC and Bed Bath. And I was like, this is bullshit, especially AMC. I mean, Bed Bath's been a different story over time. But yeah, I don't know. Kind of a rant there. I hope that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I'm getting tired and rambly now. So, but it's going to be a public beheading. Hey, Tetron, what do you think about Intel INTC? Tetron's correct. Appreciate you, Xbon. Xbon. XFit. Um, Honestly, I don't know too much about Intel, but from what I understand, they're falling off a little bit in terms of PC parts. My friend was actually just telling me he's super into like computers and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, AMD. He was telling me how he wants to invest in AMD, but he has a lot of passion for like building computers and stuff, and he's not actually bought it yet, and he hasn't really ever invested. So he's like, he just asked me like general questions, and I'm like, like I said, like very honestly, because he's like, well, you love GameStop, should I do it? I'm like, one, you got to do your own research. Like, I think GameStop's a truly unique opportunity. I think yes, you should invest in it. Personally, I think that, but you got to make that decision for yourself, and you got to research it. And he was telling me about AMD, and I was like, because you have passion for the brand and like you understand it and you are telling me you're using the product, it's buying AMD products themselves to help, you build computers and do stuff you do, then I think it makes sense you should invest in what you know. That's kind of like a number one rule for investing, I would say, or just, a huge factor of it. So that was just some guidance I was giving to him. But he was telling me that Intel's not doing that great, and I'm kind of just going based off what he said, but I feel like they're really losing market share. But I'd have to look at them more. And from what I understand, Apple used to use them, and then now they create their own chips. I'm not too familiar with the chip game, but I don't think Intel's in the best shape. But at the same time, what do their numbers look like? What are their plans to turn around? Um, I don't keep up too much with the PC parts and the new chips and stuff like that coming out, so I'd have to kind of become more knowledgeable on that. But also, Intel's been around for a really long time, so they're not just gonna like die, just like lay down and die like, oh yeah, here comes Nvidia and AMD to just wipe us out. Like, no. But funny enough, this reminds me, there's this guy I had class with in high school. He was a homie, this guy James, and he was like, again, super into computers, and he's like, Nvidia, man, it's the way to go. And it had already been rising, and I was like, I don't know. It was when I was trading stocks in high school. Should have listened to him. I actually would have had a good trade, because at that time it was just like fucking going crazy. Because when I was in high school, it was 2014 through 2018. That was my high school years. So yeah, exactly. It was here where I was talking to him about it. And I was like, he's like, bro, I'm telling you. And then I was like, okay. And then it was up here. And then it went down here. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe yeah, I was right. And then I was like, oh, well, fucking look at that. But again, learning experience. I didn't know anything about NVIDIA. And it would have been just at that time, just in and out of it. But just some thoughts there. Well said. Thank you, Mixtape. Sometimes I'm just rambling out here, but appreciate you guys listening. I really, really do. So, and it's all just about the experience, And I just love GameStop. I really just love GameStop, and I really feel like getting into this whole movement or just whatever you want to call it, that I just love GameStop and I've invested in it because of what I understand about it. It's taught me, in my eyes, like what investing really is all about. Like the way Ryan Cohen's doing it and running a company where put your money where your mouth is, you associate people running the company, their interest with the interest of the shareholders. You trim unnecessary spending. You out people that are making poor decisions. All these small things, like I'm coming to realize over time, like, wow, GameStop as an investment is really building the mold for what I see to be a good investment. So for me to want to really invest in another company substantially in the future, I'm going to look at the reasons I was bullish on GameStop as the factors, or as like my checklist, so to speak, for investing in another company. So, yeah, so much to learn about GameStop. That's really the coolest part about it all is, becoming so knowledgeable on one company. And again, I'm not the most knowledgeable. I'm not trying to pump my own tires in any way. I really feel like the most knowledgeable guy out there, and I mean, maybe it's someone else, but I think it's Rance. This guy reads everything. Everything. He gets every little detail, man. Every little detail. That guy is the fucking man. He is the man. He gets every little detail. He might be the most knowledgeable GME guy. I'll say that. I mean, hey, that's an arguable statement, right? But yeah, and it's all about investing what you know. I really feel like that is my ultimate lesson from the whole thing is I know GameStop. I love GameStop. So I feel great about investing in it. Anything else, how could I feel great about putting a lot of money into it? Because I'm just simply not as familiar. And I feel like over time, I'm always reading about what's going on in finance and these other stocks and these other names. And I do have conversation with friends about other stocks, absolutely. But I'm not investing in them because I'm like, I think there's some crazy things that are going to happen with GameStop, and that's the best opportunity. And honestly, guys, what I'm investing in the most right now is not a stock. I'm investing in myself. I'm paying down my student debt. I've really been aggressively doing that. Um, because yeah, I don't want to carry on debt forever, and I don't have a massive amount of debt in any way or anything like that. But I want it out of my life, out of the way. I don't want to worry about it at all. So that's really the biggest investment I'm making right now, paying back my debt. So yeah, I don't know. I'm getting super rambly here, so I think it's time to wrap it up. But I really do appreciate you guys being here. I really, really do. And yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm burnt out, and I'm like, oh, should I even do a stream? Like, I'm tired, but I'm like, I gotta do it. And why is it that I'm putting in GME and the first thing I see, Bed Bath and Beyond, the Classic Force Association, Classic Force Association. That's really the whole I hold both story. At the end of the day, it's always the forced association of other names with GameStop. Always companies of where insiders are selling, shares are being diluted, poor balance sheet, not profitable, you name it, force associated with GameStop consistently over time of the narrative of fight back against the short sellers. When in reality, a lot of individuals just like the stock and understand that liking the stock, if there is, anything shady going on underneath the surface, right? It'll just bubble up over time with the company's success. But just my viewpoints on this stream. That's all I have to say. Can't stop, won't stop. Jay, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. GME is the way. That's a fact, Freshmaker. That is a fact. Play that We Ready video for tomorrow. That We Ready video, get you ready for tomorrow. Facts. Sounds good. Dude, Abe, you're literally a meme god, man. Dude, this guy, Abe, guys, straight meme god. Check my Twitter tomorrow. I'm going to tweet out a fire video. I played it before. But this guy's a meme god. Shout out to Abe. He made it. So I'll be tagging him tomorrow on there. Thanks for streaming, Sir Tetron Invest. Keep doing what you're doing. We got you. Appreciate you, mixtape. It's hard to, not like keep going. Like I'm not saying like I'm ever like, oh, I can't keep going, oh, or something like that. But sometimes it's just like life is so busy, and all of a sudden I'm like last Wednesday I streamed, and then I have like I just been caught up in a bunch of other shit. Like, holy fuck, it's like Monday already. I haven't even made a video since my last stream. Like it's so crazy how time could just fly sometimes. But yeah, no, it's really been fun with you guys every Monday and Wednesday. Um, Obviously this Wednesday I'm streaming. Next Monday I'm streaming, but then the following Wednesday, unfortunately, I have to cancel. I am about to do some traveling, so stay tuned. I'm gonna record where I'm at, like where I'm going. I'm gonna make content. I'm gonna find a way to make some time for that. So stay tuned. You'll see what I mean over time. But hope everyone out there has a great night. GME always was the one. Tell me distraction of GME without telling me. Always a fun time. Thank you. Really, I appreciate you guys all. I hope everyone out there has a good night. 10K. Gotta keep marking this up soon. Little by little. Maybe next stream too. I'll kind of dig into this a little bit more. And we'll see, what the next earnings report brings, the next 10Q. That will be interesting. That is for sure. Whoop. Invisible. And I'm back. And I'm gone. Have a good night, everyone.